Hello and welcome back to GeoPulse 360, the definitive source for in-depth analysis on geopolitical affairs. Today, we have a compelling story that will take us from the battlefields of Ukraine to the war-torn regions of Syria and the political machinations in Africa. We're talking about the Wagner Group, Russia's notorious private military company that's been at the heart of multiple conflicts around the globe. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our investigative pieces. The story of the Wagner Group begins in 2014. At this time, Russia was implementing its new military doctrine that included the use of little green men, or anonymous soldiers, to annex Crimea. Emerging from this crucible was a shadowy organization that would soon gain international notoriety, the Wagner Group. This private military company is led by Dmitry Yakin, a retired lieutenant colonel from the Russian Special Forces, who named the group after his radio call sign, Wagner, revealing his controversial admiration for Adolf Hitler. Ukraine was perhaps the Wagner Group's testing ground, supporting pro-Russian separatists in eastern Ukraine, particularly in Crimea and Donbass. Wagner operatives worked covertly, skirting international laws by serving as volunteers. Estimates suggest that as many as 5,000 Wagner contractors may have been involved, indicating the group's extensive reach even in its early days. In 2015, the Syrian conflict offered a new theater for the Wagner Group. Russia's official narrative focused on fighting ISIS, but Wagner's actions were more complex. The group was heavily involved in securing key strategic locations for Assad's regime. Unsubstantiated reports indicate they were paid not just in money but also in mining rights for phosphates and other valuable minerals. They didn't just fight. They also took over key economic assets, displaying an opportunistic streak that's become a hallmark of their operations. While in Syria, the Wagner Group's reputation took a darker turn. Accusations emerged, claiming that they engaged in acts like torturing prisoners in the ancient city of Palmyra and extrajudicial killings in Deir ez-Zor. Videos leaked to the international press painted a grim picture, which brought a barrage of sanctions from the US, the EU, and the United Nations. Though primarily focused on Eastern Europe and the Middle East, Wagner's portfolio also extends deep into Africa. From supporting the Libyan National Army against the UN-recognized government to securing diamond and gold mines in the Central African Republic, Wagner seems intent on projecting Russian influence throughout the continent. Their strategies include not just combat but also providing political and logistical support, making them a multifaceted threat. Let's delve deeper into the key figures behind the Wagner Group, exploring their backgrounds, roles, and the impact they've had on the organization. Each of these individuals represents a unique facet of the group's operations, lending their expertise and often an air of mystery to the private military company. First, let's talk about Yevgeny Prigozhin, the figure so enigmatic that he's often called Putin's chef. Born in 1961 in Leningrad, now known as St. Petersburg, Prigozhin had a challenging start in life. He served 9 years in prison for fraud and robbery, but emerged to create a culinary empire that catered to Russia's elite, including President Vladimir Putin himself. However, his ambitions didn't stop at gastronomy. He saw the geopolitical chessboard as another domain ripe for conquest. Prigozhin is said to be the financial backbone of the Wagner Group, steering its resources to align with both the organization's objectives and Russian geopolitical goals. His role transcends mere financing. He is the strategic brain that identifies opportunities, whether they be in Syrian oil fields or diamond mines in the Central African Republic. Next on our list is Konstantin Pikalov, known within military circles as the brain of Wagner. A former Russian intelligence officer, Pikalov brings tactical brilliance to the table. He's the person likely responsible for Wagner's notorious adaptability, where they seamlessly shift from traditional combat to guerrilla warfare to cyber operations. In addition to serving in the Russian army, Pikalov has been reported to have had a stint in the FSB, Russia's principal security agency. While not much is publicly known about him, his ability to strategize and adapt is evident in how Wagner conducts its clandestine operations, often staying one step ahead of their adversaries. Then we have Andrei Troshev, the man behind the big guns, quite literally. An artillery expert, Troshev is believed to have served in various capacities within the Russian armed forces. His knowledge of ballistics and heavy artillery adds a devastating layer to Wagner's arsenal. From strategically placed artillery barrages in Syria to the calculated use of mortar strikes in Libya, his fingerprints are all over Wagner's battle plans. Troshev adds a level of sophistication to the Wagner Group, ensuring that their operations aren't just about boots on the ground but involve a level of strategic planning that rivals the most advanced military organizations. Finally, let's not forget the hundreds of anonymous operatives who make up the rank and file of the Wagner Group. These are former military personnel, adventurers, and even individuals with criminal records, all united by the prospect of high-risk, high-reward assignments. Their identities are often meticulously guarded, their pasts obscured, and their actions shielded from international scrutiny. While they may not be the public faces of Wagner, their roles are crucial in executing the group's global operations. What makes the Wagner Group particularly slippery is its financial structure. The company has no official registration or headquarters, and its estimated annual budget ranges between $1 to $2 billion. It's believed that they earn both from governmental contracts and less savory means, such as resource exploitation and perhaps even organized crime, though concrete evidence remains elusive. Recent reports indicate a dark recruitment strategy involving Russian prisoners. They are purportedly offered pardons in exchange for service in combat zones, a practice that the United Nations has labeled as potential forced labor or even human trafficking. This feeds into a broader pattern of Wagner skirting international laws and human rights norms. Wagner's activities present a range of geopolitical concerns. They represent a form of proxy warfare that complicates diplomatic relations, making them not just a Russian problem, but an international quandary. With activities spanning multiple continents and an array of conflicts, understanding Wagner is essential to grasp the new shape of asymmetric warfare in the 21st century. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Wagner Group. Here at Geopulse 360, we aim to shed light on the intricate dynamics shaping our world. If you found this enlightening, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more. Until next time, stay curious.